Mikhail Kalashnikov is a paradox. He has earned both praise and condemnation for his invention, the AK-47. A weapon he claims was intended for defense, the weapon has been popularized among both government forces and separatist movements across the globe. Today, there are over 100 million units of the gun in production and boasting representation in over 5 flags and coat of arms in the world. In today's episode, we interrogate the man Kalashnikov and determine whether it is he who deserves the moniker, the Angel of Death. Mikhail drew his first breath in 1919 in a city called Atlai in the Soviet Union. He was born to Timofey Alexandrovich Kalashnikov and his wife Alexandra Florovna. He was one of 19 children, only 8 of whom survived to adulthood. He was the 17th born child in total. His childhood was a bit rough, considering his father was classified as a kulak after the kulakanization of the Soviet Union and deported to Siberia in 1930, a fate which his wife and all his unmarried children, including Kalashnikov, shared in. After the fall of the Russian Empire and the rise of communism, there was a system of classification of land holding introduced, where peasants who owned over 8 acres of land were classified as kulaks, which translates to fists. They were viewed as traitors of the cause and had all their properties confiscated, after which they were deported to Siberia. Mikhail was married on 2 separate occasions, with both his wives coincidentally sharing the name Ekaterina. His first marriage was to Ekaterina Danlovna, and the union bore no known children. His second marriage was to Ekaterina Petrovna, and the union bore 4 children, being 3 daughters and 1 son. The firstborn daughter, Nelly, was born in 1942. The second-born daughter, Elena, was born in 1948. And the third daughter, Natalia, was born in 1953. His only son, Victor, was born in 1942. And Victor would later follow in his father's footsteps by being a weapons designer in his own right. Upon his father's death as a young boy, his mother remarried. When he completed his 7th grade, he sought the permission of his stepfather to move back to his home village of Korea and promptly got a job in a tractor workshop. After briefly working in the tractor workshop, he was drafted into the Red Army in 1938, where he was assigned as part of a T-34 tank infantry crew. He would be injured in the Battle of Bryansk in 1941 and would be later hospitalized in the Soviet Union until April 1942. He first tinkered with the idea of designing a weapon when he and his comrades in a hospital complained about the state of the weapons in the Russian army. Although his first design of a submachine gun was not accepted into military use, his skill was nonetheless recognized, and this prompted his promotion to a specialized wing of the Firearms Directorate of the Red Army. In 1946, he entered his first prototype of an assault rifle, the Mikhtim, into a competition which he later won. After perfecting the design of this assault rifle, he would develop the AK-47, which was short for the Automat Kalashnikov. His first experience with a gun was probably in Siberia, where he would use his father's hunting rifle to hunt for animals as a means of supplementing the family income. In his years, Mikhail produced over 150 designs of small weapons, the most popular ones being the AK-47, the AKM, the AK-74, the RPK, and the PKM. In his old age, he settled in the city of Izhevsk in the Republic of Udmurtia within the Republic of Russia, where he would fall sick and after a prolonged illness was admitted into a medical facility for treatment. He would breathe his last on the 23rd of December 2013 at the age of 94, the cause of death being gastric hemorrhage. He was accorded a state funeral with full military honors. His guilt for creating weapons of war was apparent in his letters of confession to Patriarch Kirill, the head of the Russian Orthodox Church. Part of his letters read, "I ask myself repeatedly that if my rifle has claimed people's lives, can it then be that I, a Christian, an Orthodox believer, was responsible for their deaths?" Throughout his life, and more so in his sunset years, Mikhail would insist that his weapon was intended for defense and that his key motivation was service to his country and not profit, although he and his family profited financially from businesses associated with the AK-47 brand. Through one lens, Mikhail was a patriot, devoted wholly to the service of his country, and whose patriotism led him to mastermind the creation of the perfect assault rifle. Through a different lens, he and his family has profited handsomely from his creation, a killing machine, cheap to make and easy to assemble, and that has caused wanton death and destruction in the world for several decades, even boasting representation in the battle standards of organizations like Hezbollah, which have been classified by some as terrorist organizations. In our view, Kalashnikov was a victim of his talent, a man who leveraged his skills and abilities to climb out of the pit of poverty, while at the same time serving his nation. But it remains a debate whether he is to be remembered as a creator, an artist, a trailblazer, or an angel of death.